Hey guys, Mike, IronTrap Garage, and we're doing another week in the life of. This week is a little hectic. Saturday we leave for Oklahoma for 5 days to finish up that estate. So we got to do a little prep work this week. I know we got a bunch of work we're going to do at the mill to try and stay ahead of the weather. It is getting colder in this part of the country. It hasn't snowed yet, but winter is coming, so we're trying to be proactive and try and finish up the last of the shingle removal on the one side of the building. So doors that need to be reskinned, that kind of stuff. So I know we're spending at least one day this week doing that. Need to prep for Oklahoma. Trying to get some stuff squared away here so we're ready to bring all of that back. Set up Luke so he can continue to ship packages while we're gone. That kind of stuff. I think we're gonna wash the Willies this week as well. It's just a bunch of stuff. Nothing, no trips or travel planned besides going to Oklahoma on Saturday. So let's get to work. We got a lot of work to do.
All right, so Monday, I started off going to Home Depot very early this morning and got like 20 sheets of this barn siding and some other lumber. The same stuff we're using on these doors. It's got like a bead on it, so it kind of looks like it's the tongue and groove. So we're doing that, and then working on this door over here. So we're gonna already start stripping off the old plywood that was all rotten. Originally, the problem with a lot of this building was the gutters weren't on correctly, so there was no downspout there, and all the rain was just overflowing that gutter way up there and raining over and then splashing for who knows how long. And this door, all the plywood was all rotted out. The bottom board was rotted out. And a bunch of this plywood is rotted out for that reason. So now that we got a downspout that's actually putting water away from the building, we're gonna reskin these doors. So the lumber on them, basically like 10 inches up is all really good. So we ripped the sheets off and get them put on and hopefully get these doors reskinned. Last week, that door at the end of the week, we got that up, sliding, looking good. And that door is good, so moving around. So this is Monday. We're already busy and try and be productive this week. Go over, we'll bring it back. Yep. Yeah, that's it. That's it there, yeah. All right, so today's Tuesday, and I actually got to spend a good bit of time in the shop yesterday, which was nice. So if I didn't mention it, Evan and I got the chassis for the 32 drag car back from our buddy Brooke that blasted it, and we sprayed it with some Eastwood Fast Etch on Sunday. And you can see it gets like that nice grayish tone to the metal, and I do that on all my chassis and stuff that's blasted. And if your shop's fairly climate controlled or not super damp, it will sit for years and not flash rust. So the Sweetheart Roadster chassis is the same way. But we got a lot of stuff to fix on this, and I'm going to be doing a separate video on that. But I'm glad to have that back so quick. I also worked on a little sneak peek Arden car yesterday and changed the top tank for the blower. So now we have some clearance. So I'm finishing that video up probably later this week. Also helping Steve with shock mounts for the 32 two-door sedan. And so what we came up with is we're blending 2 shock mounts together. So this back plate here is a common style of like add-on or factory shock mounts that uses a bracket that bolts right to the factory lever shock holes. So we use that, and then we use this other aftermarket style that I think is meant to bolt in place of the fender brace holes on a 32 with no fender brace, but we obviously have fenders. So we took this, welded this one to that one, so that now it bolts and it gives us some extra strength, and then we're heating and bending this to get the arm to be basically more straight out and not have those 2 bends in it. So it's just kind of like a 90-degree bend, and it goes a little uphill to match what was underneath here, which is probably impossible to see right now, but I'm going to try. So it's hard to see, but I know I didn't grab a light. Right here anyways, in that dark crevice, there is a shock mount, F1 shock mount that's welded to this drop axle from back in the day. So we're trying to make that fit with what we're doing. So I'm going to fire the torch up, do some of this work, and then I got to run to the mill and start scraping shingles. Good fun. So that's what we're doing. We're going to bend this one a little more, we're going to bend this one, and then we'll finish well. Be ready to go. I think I'm running out of settling now. Yep.
I mean, it's got a crook in it, but it's about through now.
In with this bottle.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep. Yep. That's straight back there. Right? Up a little bit more. Yeah.
So I did a weld without my glasses, and it was a half decent weld.
Nice. You want to finish weld the other one right away too?
We'll test fit it.
Okay.
gonna have to heat and bend it a couple times. Maybe. I guess I could. And then the welder could go away.
All right, it is Tuesday morning. I'm here at the mill. It's a little chilly this morning, but we're gonna get some work done, scraping more shingles. Matt's at the shop helping Steve do some fabrication on the 32 Tudor sedan, trying to get shocks all figured out and finished up, and then he'll be over here later today. Luke's gonna come over later today as well. We're gonna work on doing electrical boxes in the what's gonna be the new store. So I'm here early. We'll get some shingles scraped while we're waiting on everyone else to finish up what they're working on, and then we'll try and get a bunch of work done today. So trying to be proactive and take care of some stuff while everyone else is busy. So just scraping shingles we go. Not looking forward to it, but gotta get done.
All right, so we found way up there where I have that pry bar shoved in. Above that, I'm going to show you guys. I saw a sign, so I'm stripping shingles off. All right, go ahead. We'll go up. Going up, going up. So stripping shingles here. Keep going. Nope. Yep, you're good. Okay, stripping shingles, and right there, right in there, if you see, there's lettering. You can see right in there, in between that board. And right in here somewhere, there's a sign. I never noticed this going around the inside of the building, so now that I know where it's at, I shoved that in there so I could see in between the boards. So we're gonna drop down, go inside, see if I can uncover a cool sign. All right, so like I showed you guys, way up there is my little pry tool I have in, and I saw a sign, so I had to take a break. We're on the home stretch of getting rid of shingles, but we're gonna go up top here. Don't mind the mess. Trying to carry a tripod at the same time. Anyways, last time we took you guys up here, we gutted out some of these, stole some of the boards that were in here, kind of blocking off a little false room right here, so it's real open through here now, which with the lighting makes it really nice. Anyways, I'm gonna go way back here. It was in between the windows, and I shoved that pry tool in right there. And if you look carefully, there is just a piece of tin. It actually shows up on camera better than by eye almost. There's a piece of tin right there. Don't know if it's a complete sign or a piece of sign, but I'm gonna go dig it out. Just gotta move a bunch of sheet metal. use of a sign. Authorized merchandise. Merchandiser. If only they put a whole sign up, not. Same sign, it's just white. So we'll probably put a strip of wood in between there.
Wednesday morning, a little sore from our activities yesterday, but we got a lot of work done at the mill. I'm going to spend probably the whole day at the mill today because I was doing some looking. We're headed to Oklahoma on Saturday. We are bringing back a 26-foot box truck. I don't have anywhere to put the contents of said 26-foot box truck, so I am going to head over to the mill and do some organizing in the rail car building downstairs, move some sheet metal upstairs, try and organize some sheet metal upstairs so we have room for it. And the end goal is to basically open a whole bay down there. We'll see if that happens, but at least give us room to put stuff. Like, we have no room right now for anything that we bring back from Oklahoma. So on that note, I'm going to grab this pallet here. I went through it and organized it last week. Pull it out, wrap it, take it over to the mill. That's part of one of the estates that I'm going to be organizing. That opens this. We can bring the balancer over. We can bring the tire machine over. Some other stuff. I need to work on cleaning up all of this stuff yet, which I might do on Friday. Possibly Thursday, get all this cleaned up. And then this will be all open to put machines. While we're away, I think Steve's going to do put the blast cabinet together. So I'm just trying to clean up space so we can get some stuff moved over from the other shop before it snows is the big part. Our podcast last week, Matt talked about making a spot for K.R. Wilson tools, and on Sunday he did just that. He hung up some pegboard and started hanging up some of our K.R. Wilson tools. We don't use that often, so good useful space since it's behind the door. Steve needs it, can come grab it, it's right there. So let's get to work.
Keep going. Roll. There you go.
All right. Steering?
Yep.
Supervising. You're here to supervise. So Steve's cleaning over there. Matt's ripping up floorboards. I'm cleaning upstairs. Lots of cleaning. So, we've ripped that room out the other week. This is all truck parts now. Hoods, fenders, that kind of stuff. Left a little space here to put some truck doors. I got fronts and rear for delivery doors. They can go right here. I'm gonna leave that door space open. I am now organizing from Model A up, sheet metal, have front fenders, leaving that space open for doors, 32 and up. Hopefully we can deal with some of this mess over here. I've been sweeping up as I've been moving stuff around too to take care of some of the mess, but we're getting there. Trying to get some of this organized. Oh, I got truck running boards I got to put over there too. So just keep moving stuff around. A lot of that stuff down here is GM. So made some room down there for GM parts. You can get that stuff moved, doors. It's just a lot, just trying to keep it all organized and mainly organized so other people can find it, not just me. So keep on chugging along. All right, so today's Thursday. Not so great weather, but we got to get some stuff done. So yesterday I got a bunch of stuff upstairs. I got the upstairs organized. It was kind of a mess, so it's all organized now. Now we need to bring up the remaining body panels that are up here and try and just organize some stuff. So this bay and the front here is open for more stuff. As you can see, it rained a bunch last night. We have Lake IronTrap right here. Luke's upstairs in the dry. I got my rain jacket on. It's not going to be very fun, but you got to do what you got to do. So hopefully by the end of today, all of this will be upstairs and we'll be better organized. Once this part's done, at least we'll be dry in here. So let's get to work.
Couple of these, good to go.
All right, still working on the 32 this week. Hopefully this is going to be out of here today because I just finished up doing the shocks. You can see we got some front shocks on it, got the rear shocks on. You saw clips of Matt and I welding and bending the mounts and everything else. We wanted to use these lower mounts. They came on the old axles, and someone did an actually very nice job of welding and filling everything on them. we wanted to use them, so we had to make something that would fit those. So we got those. Got those all installed. And of course, we got shocks for the rear also, but as you saw the clips that I shot earlier, it's never as easy as just bolting shocks on. Really never as easy as bolting anything on. There's always more to it. So at least we got all 4 shocks on now. No more tie straps underneath it to keep the shackles from flipping. That's what I got going on so far.
All right, so shout out to Luke. He did a great job today. All the body panels are upstairs. This is all cleaned up now. We have plenty of space to unload from whatever we get in Oklahoma. This has been condensed. That has been condensed. I was inside doing some roughing of electrical work. So now that we have, oh yeah, I don't know if I showed this. We got new door skins on almost all the doors. We had to do one left. It kind of was raining today, so that did not get done. But new skins make the outside of this look much better. This is all cleaned up in here. So next week, actually in 2 weeks, we can dump a whole bunch more shit in here. So good work today, Luke. You did a great job.
And I could do stuff if I really cranked it. Focus. That's just interesting to take a corner cut like that. I was trying to do like a fly cut almost, you know, with the whole distance of the thing. That's not really a pulling method. Just off your garage, so it'll probably be good. I mean, yeah. All right, so in the last couple shots, I was machining the bottom spring plate, and basically what we were fighting is we set the car down after doing the shocks, and we were all happy. And then I came in from working at the mill, and Steve's like, "Yeah, we're sitting on something." So basically, we had the way we had stacked everything together with spacers, because we took some leaves out. We basically, when this thing was sitting on the ground, the spring plate was spaced down so much it was almost sitting on this. It had like a ½ an inch of clearance. So we cut the cross member away a little bit here, machined the plate, did a couple little trickery here. Steve's got the plate, and that's going to go up under there and basically get us the maximum clearance. If we can't get any more, unfortunately, we're going to have to raise the car up just a little bit more, maybe get rid of the reverse eye and put a normal eye on, but we're getting pretty close. We measured some of the other cars, and with what we have here, it's just a little under the clearance that we had with the sedan delivery, and that is totally fine. It has almost the exact same setup. So that's the idea. That's where we're at. Try and get this bolted on, and finally we'll have shocks all mounted up. Steve got the rears mounted up under here. I know it's hard to see, but right there, he's got the rears all mounted up, ready to go. So cut off some of the extra length of we forgot to do that too, but the center bolt. Yeah. So yeah, we just got to do all that little bit, and then we could finally set this thing down and probably put it upstairs. That's exciting.
Okay, daylight savings is Sunday morning, Saturday night, something like that. And we now have a clock that we are responsible for.
Yeah, the neighborhood has already told us they depend on that clock for work.
So Saturday, everyone's going to be an hour behind.
Yeah, because we're going away to Oklahoma, so we need to do it now, or it's going to be like 2 weeks till we get to it. So this should be fun.
Any birds?
Nothing yet. You usually hear them freaking out like this. Oh, there's a dead one.
Yep, got in, couldn't get out.
Dang it. Poor thing.
So if everyone doesn't remember, there is a sketchy ladder here, which leads to another sketchy ladder. This takes you up there where the clock is. So
I've never actually gone up there. I stuck my head up there like the day we bought the place, and that was about as far as I got.
Godspeed. I'm going to stand down here.
Well, watch the dog so he doesn't.
And then when Matt actually goes to adjust it, you have your phone on you, right?
Yes.
I'm probably going to go outside and double check his work before he climbs down.
Well, you'll probably have to call me. I'll probably have to call you and you'll watch me turn it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're up in the feed top of the mill.
I'm going to walk down the street.
Okay, and the clock tower. And if you guys look, there's the clock. And you can hear it ticking away. So we need to figure out how to change the time, which I don't really know yet how to do it, but we're gonna figure it out. But there's dead birds, lots of bird poop, way up in the bird tower here. So try and get this figured out. All right, so we were having a problem with this. So first of all, this thing here, which is covered in bird shit like everything, has an old school like rotary dial that I guess used to change it. And then this clock controller turns on and turns off this digital one that I found in a different box, which had very clear directions, but it had some like just fault code or something and the buttons weren't doing anything. So we found a video on YouTube, go figure, and it showed how to change the numbers and it was the same as the directions, very straightforward, but you could see the display thing. So Mike's infinite wisdom, he said, why don't we just turn it off and turn it back on? So he turned it off for like 5 minutes, turned it back on, and the numbers came back up. And I punched all the numbers in, and now it's changing. So now you can hear it's clicking often. So it's moving the dial, but Mike said it's only moving it like 1 minute at a time rather than it's spinning around quickly. So it's like every, I don't know, 10 or 15 seconds, it's moving a minute. So we're gonna have to wait for probably like 20 minutes for it to adjust, but it does appear that it's doing whatever I click the buttons on. So I'm gonna close this up and fingers crossed it's all right. We left it 10 minutes fast. That's what it's been for before we owned it, just so nobody gets upset that it's 10 minutes fast. So I'm gonna come down from this mess here, RIP, another birdie. And hopefully this thing changes so I don't have to go back up here today because it is pretty gross.
All right, so big progress here.
Yes, yeah, big progress. So after Mike and I fiddled with the clock, we think we have it figured out. We may not. It takes a really long time for it to like go around.
It doesn't go backwards, it only goes forwards.
So we're running out of patience. Mike went up and we think we figured it out, so it seems to be moving. We'll check before we leave, but if it isn't, then everybody's gonna have to deal with the time being completely
So we get back.
wrong.
Yep.
But while we're doing that, I've been having one of my friends that's been helping, donating some time, helping with some carpentry work as we are doing other things. So he's been kind of like, so one of the doors he worked on a little bit, and then Mike and I finished the one door. We got all the shingles scraped. Was that this week?
Yeah, it was.
This week we got all the shingles. I can't even remember. All the shingles scraped off finally on this wall. He was working on some of the doors, and we ended up, between all of us, got all the doors basically reskinned and restructured. A lot of them had, because the gutter up there didn't have a downspout and it was overflowing, it rotted all these doors out from water splashing. So a lot of the bottom 2x6s needed to be replaced. Replaced them, put the same beaded sheeting on that I think looks pretty good. It's probably the best scenario aside from actually doing tongue and groove. It just had crappy plywood on it before.
Yeah. I've repurposed a couple sheets of said crappy plywood.
Yeah. So we're using everything here, but the nice thing is we have all these doors are replaced.
Just one left. I think we're gonna do the one on the end.
So the one on the end, there used to be like a skywalk back in the day, and they said a big truck hit it and half ripped it off, so they took it down so trucks could drive through. Because we drive like box trucks through there and stuff, we're gonna leave it off. So what we're gonna do is just patch where they used to have it attached with boards and any of these areas that are broken. But we were very surprised up top, other than that one spot there that they had replaced where we think the door had probably ripped off at some point. It's just boards along the bottom that are broken that we can replace. So we're gonna be working on that over the next couple weeks. Our buddy Tony that's helping with some of the painting, he did the roof. I talked to him and he may start working on trimming out or masking and then painting some of the stuff, at least down to here. and then hopefully we could stay ahead of him and get the last of this side done before actual winter hits. That's been my unrealistic goal when we bought the place, was to get this, basically this structure kind of like watertight, all the really ugly stuff taken care of and fixed and repainted. So we are super close. If the weather turns, it may not happen, but we're hoping it can. But it's taken a village of people, of friends and helpers.
And we're not done shingles. There's one more wall left.
One more wall on the backside that we have to strip some shingles and replace. There's actually a bunch of, I don't know if the sun hits that side or the weather, but that side the shingles are really bad.
I think there's no overhang, that's why. The rain hits it way more.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do some of that. We're actually gonna build out a little area with a doorway to get in here and secure these doors better. But overall,
I mean, it just looks.
walk back. Aside from the boards we have to replace.
Yeah, we're actually, this door we're gonna change, I think, to a slider so they all match, because that door gets whipped by the wind when you have it open quite easily.
It's a lot easier, and we've been actually surprisingly utilizing a lot of these doors. So it's been, it's been helpful to have a sliding door there, and that one opening out. It's just been, like Mike said, and it's the bottom's all rotted and broken too. So we'll probably just replace it with one of these doors. So all the doors from here down all match, and then these doors are still the old style, and
because technically the building changes right there.
Actually,
so
this is the old building. That's, I think, the new building. I think.
newer.
Maybe the other way around.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be the other way around. I don't know. But
it looks amazing.
yeah, huge progress. Very happy. We have a full trailer just about now of old castaway lumber that's broken and whatever, and we found it on the property. So this winter, we just got the wood stove fixed up. Steve did that earlier today. Got the pipe all cleaned and everything ready to go. So we'll probably pull that trailer up to the shop, and we'll be bouncing between normal firewood. A lot of it is oak and things like that.
And it's insanely dry from being here for 100 years.
Yes, so we don't have to worry about any of that. We can just, I'm going to put a tarp over it and just pull out and mix in that normal lumber or normal firewood, and we'll dispose of it. So everything's getting used, just like when you build old cars. We're repurposing and reusing as much as we can. We're really happy to be hopefully over the hump on this building as far as fixing the exterior goes. And then, with winter coming, then we can just focus on some stuff on the inside. We're going to work on.
Turn our attention to where we're going to put the parts,
Yeah.
because that's going to happen sooner than later.
Yeah, sooner than later. And you got the wiring.
Yes, I did some wiring too.
Mike did some wiring as well, just laying out some boxes where we want to. It's all the wiring's basically there. It's just kind
Adding
of tuning
outlets,
up, tuning up the crap that they, random light switches and things that are around. So we're just trying to, clean up some of the stuff that's there and unsafe, or just
Make it so there's not 15 light switches and just one.
that's mainly what it is. Convenience is the big thing right now. So we're going through all that, but looking good, making progress, and
Look at that.
good week.
Yes, sir. This thing does need a camshaft. It's not loud enough. That's what this needs to sound like.
I know. Very vile.
So we're doing the old car switcheroo right before we leave.
Yeah, we're trying to set up enough work for everybody to do stuff while we're gone. So this car has a really bad rear main seal leak that got way worse.
Probably dripping right now.
Once it gets hot, it gets really bad. So it's got a rear main seal leak. We never did it when we did the engine, our fault. And so we're going to take care of that. We got a Columbia rear that's all rebuilt from one of the estates in 38 this summer. And so Steve's going to be doing a bunch of that stuff while we're gone. So get the car switched around.
Sounds so good. You can't even tell that's running right now.
Yeah.
It's running right now.
Probably starting to jerk off there, buddy.
It needs some tuning yet. It's a little smack.
Well, you probably have the choke pool still.
Alrighty, so we are ending off this week's Week in the Life of in Oklahoma. Matt and I got in a little earlier this afternoon. I am currently at the farm property, walking out just to check on everything here, snap some photos for some people, just see how everything is since we were here like 8 months ago. We were back in the beginning of April, so it's been a while. I guess that's 6 months. I'm not good with math. Yeah, so I'm gonna walk around, snap some photos, see what everything looks like, and then Matt's at the house moving a bunch of stuff to the scrap bin and that kind of stuff. So basically it looks how we left it. It's kind of wild. So it is dead silent out here, but yeah, it's all still here. A little overgrown, but it's all still here. Sorry, sun's bright. Let me get in the shade. Coop's still here. Trucks. Man, it's wild. All right, well, thanks guys for watching. Make sure you tune in next week. And then in a little bit, a little further along, we'll have a full video from our last trip here to Oklahoma as we clean up all this stuff. But we got a lot of work to do. So put the phone down and get to work.